is how human history ended. This 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 is how human history ended, and the earth became ours. On November 16th, 2075, entities appeared in the skies above many of the great human cities, Toronto and Tokyo, Los Angeles and Lagos, Buenos Aires and Paris. Citizens stopped to stare upwards at the beings, and soldiers abandoned their petty civil wars to gaze skyward in wonder. The beings were nearly indescribable, and there was no agreement among witnesses as to their true form. To some, they were as a radiant sun, to others, as a giant eyeball that looked in all directions at once. Some saw concentric wheels within wheels, or impossible geometries, or a writhing collection of fractal limbs. Some people estimated that the beings were several kilometers across. Others thought they were only a few tens of meters in size, but were constantly shrouded by a cloud that obscured their true scale. Some humans could hardly bear to look at these beings without being blinded by the light, and others seemed unable to look away. Some babbled incoherently at the sight of the beings floating above them, and others were rendered mute and simply never spoke again. The citizens of Earth began referring to the beings as angels almost immediately on their arrival, though there were always some who doubted their theological nature. Neither doubters nor believers would be saved by their opinions from the fires that were yet to come. Soon enough, the angels began to speak. Their words were heard by people in all corners of the earth, from every country, every class, every race and religion. Not every human in the world heard the voices, but many billions of them did. Various people heard the angels speak in a whisper, or in a rumble, or in a perfect choir, or simply as an inner voice that appeared in people's heads. The call was usually in the hearer's native tongue, but not always, and the message was the same for all who heard it.
Children, and I will carry you unto heaven.
And so the people went forth unto the angels. They traveled from the corners of the earth, leaving behind their communities, their jobs, their friends or families to go. They went as if hypnotized, walking for hundreds of miles without tiring, ignoring national borders and overwhelming international transportation, running up debt or committing crimes just to get closer to the angels. Towards the end, there were almost 3 billion people clogging the suburbs and countrysides beneath the beings. All the diversity of humankind mixed together, creating the next skyward, waiting for the rapture. Simultaneously, each angel raised a vast arc of fire into the sky and then hurled it down to the ground. The fire burned several thousand square miles below each being, incinerating each city and its inhabitants and most of the landscape as far as the eye could see. Fields were scorched, rivers and oceans boiled, the earth trembled and cracked, and smoke rose into the sky to shroud the beings like a black cloak. Nearly a third of the human population of Earth perished in the space of only a few minutes. And then the creatures began moving through the skies towards new cities in which they could work their terrible deeds. And this was the point at which recorded human history ends. And so, an alien assault on Earth unfurled. The aliens had come at the humans with deception, using humankind's own religions against them, infecting them with an eschatological fever, making them to march willingly to their doom. The faithful and the curious were tricked into gathering together like sheep at the slaughterhouses, like ants to our carnivorous plants, like moths unto a flame. With so many of them dead in the initial attack, and human society collapsing into chaos, the rest of Homo sapiens were easy for us to hunt down and exterminate. And that is how the Earth became ours.